Now, we always talk about Christmas as a very joyful time, but for some it isn't, especially if you've just gone through a marriage breakup like our next guest today. Maureen Nolan, Colin's sister, had been with her husband Ritchie for 28 years when earlier this year he sent her a text message saying they needed to talk. Little did she know that that was the beginning of the end of their marriage. She's here to talk about her heartbreak. Please welcome Maureen Nolan. I wish we were welcoming you under nicer circumstances, but it is good to see you. And is the whole Christmas thing getting to you yet? Because, you know, everywhere at the moment, it's all the adverts and everything's about family and everybody's together.
It's not been so bad, really. I've got 3 granddaughters and a fabulous son and fabulous sisters, so it's been all right. They've all rallied round. You know, they're constantly phoning. What are you doing? You on your own? You know, and sometimes I'm happy to be on my own, you know. And also, it's been since April, it's been happening. And also because initially, it wasn't just a text that he sent out of the blue. It was me instigating the conversation, like, you know, what are we doing? We're more like friends.
Not quite right.
It's not quite right.
And
he was
how long had it not been quite right, do you think?
You know, looking back, probably years. But I'm touring all the time, and he tours all the time, and we weren't unhappy, and we never had horrible rows, and I'd come home on a Sunday and we'd do things together, you know.
Oh,
so,
I mean, that's the funny thing, isn't it? When a marriage breaks up, people always think it's because of loads of arguments or some, you know.
It was just...
And actually, you're just sort of saying you just sort of withered on the vine.
And I think that's kind of can be sadder in a way, because if you're rowing, you're almost relieved. Actually, you know what? Let's just call it a day. But
yeah, we're still friends, and that's it. It's just sad. It's sad all round. It's just your life all of a sudden after 28 years is like, wow, what do I do now? You know?
And isn't it true, Mo? I remember you saying this, that you actually started the conversation. What are we doing?
Yeah, I instigated the conversation.
Right. Hoping that he would go, oh my God, what do you want me to do? Let's work at this. We'll drop everything. And of course he went, yeah, you're right. And that is such a kick. And I think we've all done that, haven't we?
I mean, and he didn't for a while. He said, no, we're fine, we're fine. I think men are like that, aren't they? You know. Yeah. And sorry, all you men out there. And then I finally convinced him that I was right. But then I thought he'd say, but, you know, yes, I'll change, you know, what can we do to work out? But he didn't.
Did you want him to say that? Did you want to save the marriage?
I think, like you were saying earlier, it's such a pain in the bottom to start again with everything. Yeah. I can't face, you know, all of thinking about dating and, oh, my God, I'd rather die. So I think maybe, again, women maybe would be more inclined to try and work it out.
Yeah,
I can't generalise there, but
why do you think? Do you think that getting married, part of it had a big
people said this to me before I got married as well. Oh, you know, you're going to be one of those. You've been together 23 years when we got married. You know, and I thought that'd be ridiculous.
Why did you get married? What was was there sort of a shift of some
kind? Well, he asked me in 1994 actually when we'd been together 5 years, and it was always me saying no. I think one of you said that as well.
Why, though? Why did you say no?
I was never really one of those little girls, even, who you were, weren't you? You always wanted to get married, and Anne was. And, you know, our parents didn't have a great marriage, so maybe it was partly that. So then years went by.
So why do you think getting married changed it, then? It seems that it broke it.
Well, initially, I didn't think that it had, you know, I thought that was a silly idea, but, you know, people, again, have made me think, because everybody says to me, oh, do you think it was because, you know, of that? But I think maybe you get married, maybe I got married for the extra commitment, which, you know, is just that icing on the cake almost. We were happy anyway.
And you had a child.
Yeah, and we had a child.
Grandchildren.
Grandchildren. We had a grandchild at that point. But maybe it's extra complacency as well.
Because you sort of think,
okay,
as well, because maybe you settle it then, oh, we're married now. I don't know.
Do you think because Ritchie's the same age as me, isn't he? Was he a year older? Please tell me he's a year older.
No, he's the same age as you.
So Ritchie's the same age as me. Do you think hitting your 50s changed? Because it's definitely had, I can't put my finger on it, but it's definitely had an effect on me. about how I
Like a
look at life
menopause.
yeah. And
I
do you
mean,
think some of that could be it for him?
I definitely got to 50. That was the one decade I wasn't bothered about any, and I wasn't bothered about 50.
wasn't, but
it does
50s
make you think: is my life how it should be?
Yeah.
We get some pretty fabulous guests here on Loose Women. There's plenty more where that came from. Just click here to watch more interviews with a whole range of famous faces. And click here to subscribe. It's free, so you'd be silly not to, really.